Well, welcome back, everyone. And we're in the home stretch at this point. And we have some fun things to go through here. We have a really, really interesting caller on the line. Now, talking about the Michigan real estate market, it's been fascinating to watch. So many things happening just all at once. Kirsten Scopacasa is on the phone with us, a powerhouse real estate agent based in Michigan, Oakland, Livingston, and Wayne counties. The Hour magazine has called her group one of the top growing, and she's been dealing with it just nonstop. Kirsten, are you with me this morning?
I am. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for having me on today.
Absolutely. I know there's a little bit of background noise, but do your best to just work through it if you could. So bring us up to speed. I know that you've been on fire lately, not only with home sellers, but with buyers too. Bring us up to speed. Why is the real estate market so scorching hot right now?
It is insane right now. I'm calling it that everyone is out there looking for their new COVID castle, if you will. We've seen such a huge shift back to home, right? Everyone's working from home or learning from home. Some of my clients are telling me their adult children are now moving back home. So our spaces and what we need have definitely adjusted in the last year or so.
Yeah, so in addition to rates that are so incredibly low still, although they're on the rise a little bit in terms of borrowing rates, we have home prices now that are literally double what they were 4 or 5 years ago. And so are you seeing that a lot of people are seizing that opportunity and looking to bail out, make some money, and maybe upgrade?
They are. They're house rich, with all the equity that they have in their homes right now. So a lot of them are taking the opportunity to upsize and maybe get some of those amenities that they don't have currently that they would love to be able to enjoy.
So yeah, and so in terms of the people selling, then, if I was looking at a home value that was significantly higher than what I owed on the house, and I'm looking at seizing that opportunity, on the other side of that equation, I got to go and buy something. So how concerned are the buyers you're talking about that they may be buying something that's just temporarily at a high spot? Are they buying something that's overpriced?
Well, most of them aren't looking at it that way because of how silly these interest rates are. They're making up so much the difference on the back end with their rates. But it is definitely challenging right now as a buyer in the market. Sellers are loving it. Buyers are trying to figure out how to get their offers accepted.
Yeah, and what about inventory? It seems like there's a tremendously low amount of things to look at least in the areas that I'm privy to and that I've spoken with you about. Do you have enough things for people to look at, or is it causing a buying frenzy every time something hits the market?
No, we are definitely a supply and demand, and our inventory is at the all-time low. And when I say low, to put it in perspective, in a normal seller's market, I have anywhere from maybe 4 to 6 months inventory out there for a buyer to look at in a seller's market. Right now, in the Metro Detroit area, we have less than 1%, less than 1 month's inventory. So that is causing a buyer frenzy, if you will.
Yeah. Okay. So if I saw, and there's so many people in the metro area that have noticed the same thing that you very smartly pointed out. If I was just stuck at home for the last year with the kids, with the spouse, whatever it might be, with grandkids, all of a sudden now I want my kind of COVID castle, because who knows how much longer this kind of drags out. So when I go out to find something to buy, how much frustration is there when someone's bidding on a house or putting an offer in a house and they're almost immediately outbid in a day or two? What can those people be doing to land their dream house?
It's definitely a question on a lot of people's minds. They're calling me and saying, hey, I made 3 or 4 offers on a home, or my client did. What are you and your group doing differently to get your offers accepted? So I'm telling them right now, sellers are looking at not just the price. They're looking at all the other terms that go along with it. The major one we're seeing right now is time, right? They want time to find another home or figure out what their next plan of action is. So occupancy after closing, even giving free occupancy after closing to a seller, that will hopefully give you a little step above. We're seeing appraisal guarantees and appraisal waivers. What does that mean for a buyer? It basically takes out that contingency for a seller to make them more wanting to grab their offer versus somebody else's. So we're seeing a lot of tricks of the trade.
Kirsten, how in the banking environment can someone waive an appraisal unless they have the cash to make up the difference? So it seems like some of these homes wouldn't quite appraise for the price that's being asked, even though someone's willing to pay it. Doesn't mean it's necessarily worth it. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it depends. You know, we're up about 9% right now since December. So when I say things are moving quickly, and there's no end in sight right now. But you definitely got to work with your lenders, right? You have to have a plan A, B, and C for that property or that appraisal guarantee. However, most loans that are under a jumbo loan, we are seeing if the person's putting 20, 30% down, that they, depending on the lender, are receiving an appraisal waiver. So there's different tricks of the trades out there, different lenders you can talk to. Different strategies to put in place to, again, give you the advantage to get that perfect home and beat somebody else out in this market.
Yeah, so again, Kirsten Scopacasa, principal from the Scopacasa Group, a really, really good real estate person here in Michigan. What would your helpful tips be for those folks who are thinking about listing their home? They see what's happening in the market. How do they find a real estate agent that will really kind of be an advocate for them and not maybe necessarily tell them to jump at the first few offers? What does it take on the buyer's end to be smart about finding someone in your shoes?
Well, I think marketing is very key right now in today's market for a seller, making sure that you get the maximum exposure before you get people through the door. In our group, we're doing a lot of coming soon, a week prior to the actual showing starting on the MLS or on Zillow or what have you, to try to get the buzz as much as possible and then kind of have that frenzy so that, within that week long, by Saturday, Sunday, we are looking at multiple offers, and we can go to the seller with not just price, but all those other terms that we talked about to make them as comfortable as possible in the sale process.
Awesome. Well, that's terrific guidance from Kirsten Scopacasa. Thanks, Kirsten, for joining.